Good morning and welcome to the Out of Spec Motoring YouTube channel. I've just completed a massive road trip in the Kona and that's what you're about to watch. Couple disclaimers. This is a longer video than we typically make and typically would want to make, but there was so much information, so much fun, so please watch it through, take some time. I learned a lot about the state of charging in the United States of America away from the supercharger network, because I do have a Tesla myself, as well as the Kona, which is a fantastic car. So watch our trip. A lot of unexpected things happen, a lot of close calls, but we did eventually end up making it to Marco Island, Florida. We're only 6 miles into our trip. It's been 28 minutes. I'm using all the systems on the Kona and I'm learning about it as we go, and I figured I'd bring you guys along for the ride. I know it's going to be a long video, but let's learn about this thing. The car has active lane keeping, so I think it's called LKA in this car, lane keeping assistant, and it pretty much keeps you in a lane if the line is straight or with a slight curve pretty well. So we have a sharp corner coming up, no one's around us. I'm not going to touch the wheel. Let's see what it does. It says, please put your hands on the wheel. It's trying to turn, and it does. It gets us back over. Driver's grasp not detected, and then it shuts off the wheel. So that was pretty good for, you know, a non-marketed driver assistance feature. This is just as a convenience thing. See all the equipment up in the windshield. It's been doing really well. A lot of these service stations have DC fast chargers at them. Unfortunately, this one's not one of them. Oh yeah, feeling good. Got some road trip food, some water. Let's go. We had like a 30-mile buffer on the GOM to get to this charging station, and now we have 3. What? It just dropped hard, and I went into Eco Plus. For reference, our charging station is right about there. So we're driving right to the edge of the bubble. Fingers crossed we make it. We 3-mile buffer. We're actually following a Chevy Bolt. We're both in the right lane going under the speed limit right now, so we're in a similar situation, which is kind of funny. I just checked the Windy app. There's a great app for things, and it turns out we have a massive headwind that we ran into, so that explains why our consumption's gone up recently. The thing is, this is a guesstimator, so it's taking the current situation of driving over the last 5, 10, 15 miles, whatever it's using, and then predicting our future range versus having a set rated range, which is how the Tesla system operates. So I just need to get used to this moving around a little bit. I've gotten the low battery warning. Please visit a charging station. And there's another warning that comes on at 3% to say, hey, you're really running out. We're in turtle mode right now, which just popped up as well. So that means probably some limited acceleration, which you would expect when pack voltage is really low. And then we also have the battery icon on there. So the Kona's not a happy camper, but we're gonna feed it some juice here in a minute. Let's just go and plug in. So we'll go over to CCS, connect SA to vehicle. Wow, that's pretty amazing. These stupid caps, I don't really know why they're needed. Looks like we don't need to activate anything. This might be free. That's awesome. And communicating with vehicle, just plug and charge. Hey, that's awesome. Let's see where we're gonna go to next. Definitely want to get on the other side of DC. I don't know if we can make it to Richmond. What is this charger here? That seems like a good charger to aim for. Let's see the distance. 108 miles, 2-hour drive with traffic. So let's get the GOM, probably to 150 miles, maybe 130, just to be safe. It has not tapered. We're still pulling 120 amps at pack voltage, which is 374 volts. I really like the 125 amp versions of these chargers. Just every last bit of juice you can get, I want. But we're at 55% currently. The car is estimating, I don't even know how to see how much range it's estimating. Estimating 163 miles of range. I think it was only 120 to the charger, so it's a 100 kilowatt station, so I'd rather spend the time at the faster charger than the slower one. This is in Stamford, Virginia. So we'll go over here. We've been here almost an hour, 56 minutes or so. We're at 60%. It still hasn't tapered. That's pretty awesome. Please unplug connector. We can do that. And there we go. Kona just hit 1,000 miles. We are now exiting the highway for our last charging stop of the day. Again, we're going to my house in Raleigh for the night. We'll level 2, but in order to get there, we're going to stop at this charger. And this is my first time using Electrify America. Hopefully it all works with the Kona. I don't see what not. Actually, I shouldn't say that. We did Chatham Model S at the Corvette Museum months ago, so I guess it's not my first time. I forgot about that. Looks like something wild's going on at the McDonald's. Are they under attack over here? We got ambulances, fire trucks, a million police cars, and a whole bunch of people standing outside. Gonna choose one of the ones that's lit up green. 150 kilowatt unit. There's no need for us to use the 350, so let's charge up on this one. Plug in first. Okay, so we'll hop the charging cord, grab this thing. Oh, it's a stiff cable. There we go. It says approved, machine processing, welcome driver, session details, 21 cents a minute. Okay, continue. No, I don't need that. Thank you for choosing Electrify America. And I don't know if it's charging or not. Oh yeah, here we go. 70 kilowatt. Awesome. Very nice. And the Kona's charging up. So we're charging up on the Electrify America chargers, which I think are beautiful, but they seem to be really buggy, at least until they get the initial rollout done. Out of these chargers, only like 4 of them work. and there's 3, 6, 9, there's 10 chargers. So that's weird. One thing I like about these chargers is the ones that are working are green, red means out of order, and blue means it's charging. I think that is a good target. That is the next Electrify America station that matches where we kind of need to be. That gives us a 20-ish mile buffer. By the time I pack up the camera equipment, we should have a little bit more, and that's what we're gonna do. Because we're already tapered down to 56 kilowatt. We can plug in there and get 70-ish kilowatt, and I know that charger because it's right by my house, and it's, well, not right by my house, an hour away from my house, and it's right off the highway. So that's the plan. Henderson it is. You can hear the fans are cooking, and the AC compressor's churning. Okay, we are off to Henderson, North Carolina. Not the nicest town, but that's okay. They have a charger. Cars. And the headlights have a weird gap in them right here. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but just to the left, there's a dark spot right in the middle, and it's kind of, I don't want to say annoying, it's not, but it's distracting. I am really starting to enjoy this car. The charging speeds are much more realistic when you can find 100 kilowatt fast chargers. That makes trips great, because then the car will pull 70 plus kilowatts at a charger. That's really fantastic. This is the second time we're cutting it close on this trip now. We've also increased speeds, again cruising at 75, 80, which has shot the guessometer down to about 61 miles of range, thinking we have left. But we actually have 65 miles to get to our charging stop. Now, I had given us a 25-ish mile buffer when I left the last charging station, and that was based off of our previous driving. So that means we have eaten up that buffer. We still have another 60 miles to go. Either way, we're back down to cruising at 65 miles per hour, hoping we make it to this charger. But you know, I keep my eye on this thing pretty hard, and it went from like 72, 68, 62, and then boom, 60. Now we're at 59 miles, and so it just was like good, and then hard downhill. So 52 miles needed to get to the destination, 48 miles projected. So we are not closing this gap, cruising slow. I'm following this truck closely to push the air out of the way. No tricks are working. I just went through Plugshare and reviewed all of our bailout options, and happy to report there are none. We have to make it to this DC fast charger. There are no other options on this route. Completely desolate. Plugged my phone, so that's not pulling any juice, so we're using the in-car nav here, which actually is kind of nice. It said, sorry, you can't make it, look for charging stations, and then it said, sorry, there's no charging stations along the route. So the car offered no help whatsoever to get us there, but that's okay. I think this is a totally user error on my part. I didn't remember these hills here. I didn't think of them as hills, and I should have driven a little bit slower previously in the drive to compensate for the higher consumption we would have seen here in the hills. Here we go, chargers. Delivering 57 kilowatt at 2%. That's pretty stout. I can't think of too many electric cars that can take that much juice down low in the battery pack. So we'll let this charge up. Actually, that's 58 cents a minute. Let's look at this one really quick. This one's 150 kilowatt pricing. This is 30 cents a minute from 1 to 150 kilowatt. But I think that's fair. I think we should leave these open for cars that need the higher power, such as the Porsche Taycan that's coming. Moved over to the 150 kilowatt unit, getting nearly 70%, or sorry, I'm really tired. 70 kilowatt, 69 at 6%. This is what the charger is delivering. Well, we're connected to a DC fast charger, and it says insufficient charge to reach destination. Visit a charging station. Well, we're here, so it should just tell me how long I need to wait here for at this charging speed of 72 kilowatt that we're pulling right now in order to make it to Raleigh. These are the little things that are going to make EV ownership so much easier for the masses. So, touch to return, stop charging. That stops pretty instantly. Charge port unlocked. Oh yeah. This goes like this. Starting to get the hang of these Electrify America chargers. And we'll put it there. Closed up. Very easy. Let's get on out of here. Oh yeah, this is much more like it. Cruising at 80, no range anxiety. This is great. And we are now home. So let's get this plugged in. We have load shared walled connectors in our house, and we have a J adapter, which this allows you to plug in a J1772 vehicle, such as the Kona and the Smart Car, into our Tesla plugs. Good morning. It is day 2 of the big trip. We are home. Alyssa is checking out the Kona. She's going to take it for a quick spin, and then I'm going to head off to Florida. Bye, guys. Sorry you can't come with me. Bye, Blue. No, you can't come. No. Unplug this. The car is topped up to 100%. It's estimating 304 miles of range. That's because we were hypermiling yesterday. So that's still a ton of range. That's amazing. But I predict that will go down once we're using AC, and it's a little bit hotter out today. So it basically goes Lumberton, Florence, and then Somerville, Walterboro, South Carolina. If we charge in Lumberton, that's only 100 miles from here. So I think what we'll have to do is stop early in Lumberton, charge up just to make that last stretch to South Carolina, and then charge up at that Electrify America station. We're on a good section of road. We should see what the maximum speed the Kona will go is. So I guess we'll probably go drive mode sport and foot to the floor. That's 9, 10, and 10.7 miles per hour is how fast it will go. In here, I always try not to charge at the Chatamo ones because there might be a leaf that pulls up, but I'll be with the car and I can move if they need to charge. Okay, well, I have the new Electrify America app on my phone. We're here at the charger. Let's go see how this all works with the membership plan. I think this one's dead. Let's take a look at this one over here. This one seems to work. So plug in first, we know that one. Okay, we've plugged in. Pay by credit card. I'm a member. Oh yeah, okay, authorized. That was easy enough. 25 kilowatt at 80%, which probably time to go. Let's take a look to see how far away the next charger is. This charger is offline. The people in the Bolt knew the same thing, so we were doing long charges here to make it all the way down to this one. And let's see how far this is. 163 miles. The car is predicting 231, and that's after driving really aggressively. So I'd say we are more than fine in terms of making it. There's a Starbucks over here. I'm gonna grab a quick bite. You know what? We have so much charge, we'll go through the drive-thru. And it says charging station error. Okay, good news. The Bolt is charging totally fine, so this is going great. They're at 14%, pulling 50 kilowatt. That's great. The Kona, I've moved to the 350 kilowatt stall. It looks like we're good to go. Let's hit continue. Thank you for choosing Electrify America. Yes. 6%, pulling 60 kilowatt. So I like pulling in at low state of charge. May as well use the juice to get around quicker if you have it. Just got back out to the cars, but both cars somehow stopped charging. So it says please unplug, and it's charging idle fees. That's weird. It says authorized. Check. And it says charging session error. And this is giving errors now. So maybe this is not cool. Yeah, the Bolt faults it out again. They're on the phone with Electrify America trying to reset the station, and that's about the best we can do. Nothing you can do except just plug, and hopefully it connects and charges. Really weird how all these different stations are bugging out on us at this one location. Soon, this car is now faulted. It showed up a warning here, but I didn't film it in time. The Bolt's actually still charging, and rather than going all the way to Jacksonville, I think maybe we just go to the next Electrify America station and hope for better luck. We're off to the Brunswick charger, which is between here and Jacksonville. We couldn't get this charger to work, and I just gave up on all the faulting out. So we'll go to Brunswick. It's only 134 miles away. We have 186 miles projected, and then we'll figure out the rest from there. So the Kona really has a lot of torque going to the front wheels. So especially in the wet with these non-grippy tires, it just spins the tires. You can see I'm floored. It's just traction control. Adaptive cruise control, if you can hear me over this rain, is working well in the rain. We literally can't see anything in front of us, just a little bit of that truck. I have it set at the farthest distance, and it's reading him perfectly fine. Here comes a big truck. This is some crazy gnarly rain. Okay, we are now charging at the station in Brunswick, Georgia. Made it here, no problem. We had pulled in at 12%, 63 kilowatt at 13% we're charging right now. At another Electrify America station, and yet another charging station error. Oh man, but we're at 80%. So, okay, we can't seem to charge past, whatever percent we're at, about 78% at this charger here, which means we need to go somewhere else. And in order to do that, I think what we're going to have to do is head out, of course, past Jacksonville. I'd rather not do that. There's two routes to get to Marco Island. The first is going left and down this way. This way actually only adds 3 minutes to go around this side. So I think what we'll do is there are more chargers down here. It's a little bit safer. This is another... The only reason I keep choosing Electrify America stations is they're the only ones that have more than 50 kilowatt charging. And on a 50 kilowatt charger, this car, it's a 350 volt pack, only charges at about 42, 43 kilowatt. So let's see how far this one is from here. 155 miles. The GOM says we have 178. I say we push it. Let's go. We just pulled into the charger right near Daytona Beach, Florida. And sorry for the camera looking weird, all the humidity is getting to it. Pulling 63 kilowatt at 6%. We pulled in at 5. This is the first time we're using the Electrify America ABB chargers. We've been using the EVgo ones. They partnered with a few different brands. And this thing sounds like a crazy hydraulic wing on a plane. Listen to this thing screaming. Cooling, I believe, the cable, although I don't feel it vibrating too much. Anyway, these stations really are beautiful at nighttime. That one's broken. I don't understand why they're having such issues with... Let me clean this really quick. I don't understand why Electrify America is having so many issues with reliability on their chargers. I think it's probably just software and it'll get fixed over time, but it is making this trip a little bit tedious. Now you might be wondering why I keep choosing to charge at Electrify America instead of EVgo or one of these other stations along the route. And the short answer is charging speed. There are no other options for north of 50 kilowatt charging, and the Kona can accept close to 72, 73 kilowatt so far that I've seen. And it just makes the trip go by faster. So it's worth the risk of the charger not working, especially when there's other ones around to try and troubleshoot off of. If you see here, we are charging right south of Palm Coast, northwest of Daytona Beach. We need to get to Marco Island. So this is the route that Apple Maps is suggesting we take. It comes through this town called Bartow and Port Charlotte, and then it eventually brings us down through Naples. So if we look at the charging situation around there, there's a EVgo 50 kilowatt with a great rating in Bartow. There's one looks like Electrify America station. Well, that's the same e-tron as the one that was pictured here in Port Charlotte, but if you look, that's out of the way, the wrong direction. Probably not by much, but I'm thinking, let's change it up a little bit. We don't need much juice. We're going to leave here once it starts to taper below 50 kilowatt. We'll just go over here to this Bartow EVgo station, top up there, and this will be the last stop. It charges at what I believe to be a fixed amperage rate at pack voltage from, let's basically say 2%, maybe 3%, all the way to 57, 58%, where then it tapers hard, brick wall down, and then levels off again. And then it picks up as pack voltage increases. Boom, then we get another drop in amperage. Alright, we've arrived at this desolate charger here. I have connected and activated the charger with the app. Do you need more time? Yes. Press start to begin. 100 amps. Don't tell me it's 100 amps. Oh no. Kona's juicing, although not very fast. Yeah, only 35 kilowatt. Looking at Plugshare, we are here getting really garbage speeds. So there is actually a road that can bring us right to this charger. It's another Electrify America station that can provide us the power we need to get places quicker. 71 miles, we have 97 miles of range. Let's get out of here because this charger sucks. Good early morning from Port Charlotte, Florida. It is 3 o'clock in the morning. We just pulled in pretty late, but really not an issue. We pulled in with, come on, exit, 16% state of charge. You can hear the fans, not the fans, but the AC cooling the battery on the Kona going. And this is for sure, at least I think for sure, our last charging stop of the trip. So it's been one heck of a trip down here. The Kona has done amazing. Not one single fault of the Kona. We've had some charging station issues. Time to get home to Marco Island and some shut-eye. 85.8, and we've charged up here to 130, and that'll give me enough range to get to the island, drive around if I need to. There's only 110 charging there, but even then it's kind of a pain to plug into, and then I can DC fast charge on the way out. So we should have plenty of range to make it there and back to the Naples Electrify America station. Great news, we made it to Marco Island. I'm gonna run inside, get some sleep before we do anything else. The car's sitting at 11%. I parked it in the electric car charging reserved spot, but there's no charger or anything here. There's one 110 outlet that no one uses except while I'm here, but that shuts off at between 6 and 7 in the morning, so I'd only have, you know, like an hour and a half or so to use it. It's 4:40 a.m. right now. So I'm going to go get some sleep. Hey, coming to you now on the return trip. We're not filming a road trip video on the way home, but it has been an interesting trip. I've spent all day driving and I'm still not out of Florida. There's been terrible weather. There's been chargers offline. It's been kind of a little bit of a mess. Heading back to Raleigh, I'm going to do some more tests with the Kona. So if there's anything you'd like to see a video on, I've learned so much. There was so much info on this car that I don't want to bore everyone with in this video. Put your questions in the comments, and as long as you can get to it within the next 2 or 3 weeks from the video posting date in June 2019, then I'll go ahead and answer your questions in a video, or I'll just write you back. Thank you all for watching and supporting Out of Spec Motoring. Again, we're just starting this, but we have a huge focus on electrification, and we also have our own racetrack, so we'll see some cool stuff coming with that pretty soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.